Okay, it's time to actually touch something. The idea going around of not being able to actually modify something in Navisworks is not entirely true. You really can modify items in Navisworks. The issue is you need to be able to select these items first. This video will cover 3 ways to select an object. The first will be while in navigation mode. The second is to select singular items. The third is to select multiple objects using a window. We'll also be introduced to the selection tree and see how we can change the control of the display when an object is selected. And third, we'll look at some options to see when we hover over an item to see what kind of properties will be displayed. The first thing I want to do is make sure we're in Navisworks Essential NWD or whatever Navisworks file you have open. I'm going to click on the Orbit button. I'm going to zoom in on this area right here. Notice that when I try to select this item here using my pick button, I can't do it. Because of the fact we're in a navigation mode, you need to right-click on the item, then go up to Select Pipe Cover. This will select the item while you're in navigation mode. If you hit Escape a couple times, it will clear the selection. The next thing I'd like to show you is how to just pick an object. You can either go to the Home tab and click the Select button, or you can click the Select button on the navigation bar. By picking the Select button, you can now just pick an object. If you hold down the Control key, you can select multiple objects. If I were to select an item, say this pipe, and I didn't hold down the Control key, what would happen is I would lose focus on the other 2 items that I have selected. We can get around this by actually selecting a window. So if I click the Select drop-down on my Item tools, I can click on Select Box. Now with my box, I can just pick a point, and I can pick a window. Only the items entirely within that window will be selected. If I want to pick more items, I can hit the drop-down, go to Select, hold down my Control key, and keep adding to that selection set. Let's hit Escape a couple times. Next thing I want to look at is the selection tree. The selection tree may be in different states in your Navisworks. To make sure it's turned on, go to the Home tab and click the Selection Tree button if it's not already highlighted. Yours might be reduced to a tab like mine is, or yours might be appended to the screen. If I hover over my selection tree and click on the Pin button, my selection tree is now part of the screen. If I uncheck my Pin button, my selection tree hides. You can keep your selection tree however you like it. What I'd like to do now is show you 3 different methods of selecting an item with the selection tree on. For example, my selection tree, make sure that it says Standard in the drop-down. If I select this item here and right-click on it, Navisworks will tell us what it is. It's a pipe cover. Hit Escape a couple times. Go back to your selection tree. Instead of Standard, let's go to Compact. Go ahead and select that same pipe cover. Right-click on it. It goes up a level. Now it says Select 401 Roof. Why is that? That's because in the selection tree, that item is on the level 401 roof. To advance even further, if we go to Properties, and if we select this item and right-click, Navisworks. Not sure what it is, because we're drilled in so far in the selection tree, it's actually affecting how it looks over here in the context menu. I like to see the first level, so generally in my selection tree, I like to look at Standard. When I'm selecting items, it actually says what it is. Let's hit Escape a couple times and look at one other thing. When we hover over an item, it'd be nice to get a little tooltip that shows up to tell us what it is. We can do that by going to the Home tab. Then on the Display panel, we click the Properties button. Then we can click the Quick Properties button. Our Properties dialog shows up over here. Now we can hover over this item, and it says Item Name Pipe Cover, Item Type Mechanical Equipment. When we select it, now our item properties show up over here. To change what it looks like when we hover over it, let's go into the Properties. If we click the Application button, let's go to Options. Let's go to Quick Properties and drill into that. Let's go into Definitions of Quick Properties. So now we'll see what Navisworks is going to show us whenever we hover over an item. You can move this or you can add them, or you can change what the category is, or what the property is. It's up to you how you want to edit that. I actually like the default of item and name. I'm going to hit cancel here. Hit escape a couple times to clear any selections. So, being able to select an object in Navisworks using multiple techniques is going to be very helpful in the future.